All right, hello guys, welcome back. We're back doing sixth grade math, doing pre-algebra stuff. Now, the whole point of this is that we're just enhancing your abilities, reminding you to do stuff. Please make sure that you watch my video and do what you're supposed to do. Make sure you turn it in so I can check it off as a small mastery grade to make sure that you fully understand what is going on. So in this case, we are doing percents, fractions, and decimals. Should be a fairly easy topic. Some people get confused by it, but again, I'm going to do the evens, you do the odds. So when I change percentage to decimal, all I do is I take my decimals right here and I move it over to the left twice, and that makes it a decimal. Right here, again, this is 97%. I move it over twice. This makes it 0.97. And it doesn't change when it's 19.9% again. Just move it to the left twice. Gives me 0.199. Now, it does look a little bit different when we have something over 100%. Because when we move the decimal over twice, we actually get 1.21. Now, if I'm moving my decimal to the left from percentage to decimal, when I go from this decimal to percentage, I move it to the right. So on this, I move it over twice, gives me 21%. Move this to the right, gives me 67%. I'm sure whoever made this back when they did not mean to have 6-7 in here. Now, 53. Right, so when we move this over twice, this is going to give us 53.7%. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Move this decimal over twice, 0.47%. I will say, typically when we have one like that, a lot of people will get gun shy and make it 47%. They do it twice, whatever. It is okay for it to be below 1%. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing to worry about on that one. Now we're going to change our fractions to a decimal, which is actually not that big of a deal because when we do this and we're dividing by 100, that's in essence what we're doing with percentages. So we take this decimal right here and we move it over to the left when we divide by 100. So when we divide by anything with 100 or 1,000 or whatever, we move the decimal to the left, however many zeros there are. Well, there's 2 zeros here, so I'll move this over to the left twice, gives me 0.31. Now this one we're dividing by 1,000, so we have 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, or I make it 0.071. And this is called 71,000th place. Gets the whole point. That's called because of that thousands. And this one, 151. So again, some people will automatically go, well, this is 0.151. That's not right. We only have 2 zeros, so we're going to move this over twice. Gives me 1.51. And that would make sense, right? If I do 151 and divide it by 100, there's more than 100 in there, so there should be over 1. So now we're going to do it as a percentage. Now there's a couple ways of doing this. For instance, this is 89 over 100. So I actually already know that this is 89%. Now let me show you how that works. So if I convert it to a decimal, I move it to the left twice, which gives me 0.57. But then I multiply it by 100, that gives me 57%. And I can do that. I can so I can technically multiply everything by 100. Now, if I know how to cancel, for example, these zeros cancel, leaves me with just dividing by 10. So that gives me a 52.1% because I only have 1 zero left. If that's confusing, then don't do that. I want to move the decimal over how many zeros I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to 0.00761. But then I'm going to multiply it by 100. So move the zeros to the right twice. That gives me 0.761%. So you guys have 16 problems to do on this sheet. Shouldn't take you very long. This is supposed to be short and sweet. It's supposed to remember how to do stuff. If you have questions, please let me know. Once you get it all done, please show it to me, and I will give you full credit.